Welcome, everyone, to Tasker Arena. It's time for Hobbs Eagle basketball, live on the radio at Cool 95.7 and on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, the YouTube Hobbs Sports page, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Also on the cell phone, too, if you need it, at the Cool 95.7 app. Ty Friend here with you as the Hobbs Eagles get ready to take on a team out of Texas, the San Angelo Central Bobcats. Should be an exciting game for Hobbs Eagle fans. There are plenty of seats here at Tasker as well if you'd like to come on down if you're in the Lee County area and watch some great basketball tonight. Hobbs Lady Eagles are on the road in El Paso. That will also be on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, etc. So you can go jump back between the games if you like. That's up to you. Both free, of course. No Mark Broadcasting never charges for our sports broadcasts throughout the county. Well, it's going to be kind of an interesting ball game here tonight because the team the Eagles are playing, San Angelo Central, 12-0 on the season, have not lost a ball game, and a team that beat the Hobbs Eagles last year as well. We'll talk about that here in just a minute, but definitely a pretty impressive team. The weird thing about it is, though, they have not broke the state polls yet in Texas. Even with the 12-0 record, there's quite a few teams that had more than one or two losses so far in that 6A division in Texas, the biggest division in the Lone Star State. So I guess they haven't impressed people quite enough, but of course in Texas there's millions of teams at all different division levels, so lots to sort through to finally get your votes that you need to get into that poll. But still 12-0, nothing to sneeze at. Of course, the Hobbs Eagles wrapping up a three-day tournament, round-robin style, up there in Espanola, and they beat the Espanola home team pretty bad in that final game of the tourney, 75-42, 33 points. They did have a mercy rule going some part of that fourth quarter, and ended up getting 10 trays in the ball game. That's their best numbers on the road with those three contests. In fact, in the three wins, they had the 10 threes against Espanola. Beyonce. Let's try Bosque. Didn't play the singer there. They had 8 trays against them in the opening game against the 2A opponent, Mesa Vista, just 5 3-pointers. Of course, that was the game the Eagles lost in an upset 60-58. Came back to beat Bosque School 68-32. That was a mercy roll, 36-point game. Then we mentioned Espanola at 33. So that game 2 and 3, more kind of redemption games for the Eagles. They weren't too happy about that Mesa Vista contest. It was a pretty close ball game, but they were trying to make sure everybody realized that they were going to be the dominating factor as they got out of Espanola. One good thing about the Eagles in terms of stats was the rebounding advantage, 113-62 in those 3 games. So they had 51 more rebounds than their opponents. Pretty much dominated most of the games. Mesa Vista 43-22. Bosque was 39-21. And then the last game they played against Espanola 31-19. And Eagles did have a lot more missed shots than some of those teams that they played, but they kept going at the basket and taking care of business in terms of those glass works that they got. In the game against Espanola, they had 3 guys in double figures, almost a fourth. 17 for Lyric Soria. He was perfect on the charity stripe, 4 for 4, hit 3 trays in the ball game. Definitely doing a good job there. Malachi David had 13 points. He had 7 rebounds to go along with that. He continues to hit the threes, too. Had 1 in that ball game. He is second on the squad in 3-point shots made. Pretty impressive, 11 compared to 14 for Soria. And the third guy at double digits was Josiah Clay, finishing with 13 points. 3 for 4 from the line and had 6 rebounds. So 3 guys in double figures. They were accounting for 43 of the Hobbs Eagles' 75 points, more than half of the offensive production. Jadarius Lowe getting real close to double digits. He had 9 points, 3 rebounds to his cause there. And those are the top finishers in terms of scoring for the Hobbs Eagles. We did mention those 10 trays in the game. Several guys with multiples. We did mention already Lyric Soria hitting down the 3, but Hendrick Sullivan coming off the bench for 3 trays himself. His best offensive showing this season, 9 points, all on 3-point shots. So tip your hat to him. And Javen Hernandez coming off the bench, the big man. He can shoot outside just like David. Hernandez had 2 trays for 6 points. Eagles with only 12 turnovers against Espanola compared to 19, so definitely taking care of the basketball and against their opponent in that one. Although Espanola did manage to hit 8 trays of their own in that ball game. Neither team got a ton of free throw shots. Espanola 4 for 7, and the Hobbs Eagles at 7 for 9. So with that third win of the tournament, the Eagles get to their record of 6-1, or make it 5-1, excuse me. And again, their opponent tonight coming out of San Angelo, Texas, sitting at 12-0. Now, of course, these 2 teams played last year. Eagles were on the road and ended up losing to that squad, and not very happy about that as well. Double-digit victory for San Angelo Central in that ball game. And in terms of what they did in the contest, the Eagles did manage to get Abraham Pena 20 points in the contest. Peyton Hodge 14 and Jairus Turbiatas 17 points and 10 rebounds, a double-double for him. Those three guys all in double figures, but they still lost by a big amount, 21 points. 76-55 was the final. The guys that are returning for the Hobbs Eagles squad this year, Beatty only had a bucket for two assists and a rebound. Javen Hernandez scored 1 shot for 2 points. A couple other guys got some playing time. Sophomore Soria with no points, 2 rebounds and an assist. Josiah Clay saw some floor time, didn't score. And sophomore Wheeler, Amron Wheeler, finished with no points but 2 rebounds. Hobbs had 2 for 3 free throw shooting. Yep, 3 attempts on the line, 66% from the charity stripe, had 18 turnovers in that ball game. Now they got several guys returning for San Angelo Central from last year. This is a team that went 24-11 and also 5-5 in district. They were 3rd in the district behind Friendship, who was perfect 10-0, and Permian out of Odessa at 8-2. And they went to the first round of the playoffs, got upset by El Paso Eastwood, 57-51, a 6-point loss there. 6 of their seniors graduated from that squad. And real good players they had. Christian English, one of the best in the state. He is also one of their graduates from last year. The team averaged 72 points a game and only gave up 60. Now this year's team has some returnees, as I mentioned. TK Taylor, he's definitely one of their best players. In the first 3 games of the season, he averaged 21 points and 11 rebounds, a double-double. He can dunk the ball pretty well too, so he did one here just a second ago before the refs came out. Otherwise, he would have gotten a tech. Trey Allen, first 3 games of the season, averaged 12.7 points a game, 4 steals and 4 assists average as well. He can do a lot of things statistically for him. Ian McNeil returns. He's averaging around 10 points a ball game. And Jaden Franklin, very versatile player, through 3 games of the season, 18.7 points average, 4.5 assists, and 7 rebounds average as well. So Taylor, Allen, McNeil, Franklin combined are very potent force. In fact, Taylor, Allen, and McNeil combined for 38 points in their recent tournament championship that they had this past week. They beat their arch rival from San Angelo, Lakeview, who was the host team, 74-39. So definitely blew them out by 34. And again, those 3 guys, Taylor, Allen, McNeil, their top scorers. Other teams they beat at that tournament, Plainview, Texas, Taft, and Canutillo. Some of the smaller schools in that mix, but still did a great job on all 4 of those games that they played. Right now, San Angelo Central with that 12-0 record is averaging 75.8 points a game, 50 points on the defensive side, so keeping real low scoring for their opponent. Right now, the Eagles 68 points a game, about 7 points less than San Angelo. Hobbs-only, though, giving up 48 points, which is about 2+ better than what San Angelo is giving up with their 50 points. So Hobbs Eagle defense not too bad out there. Now, they had a little bit of a hiccup on, that guy from Mesa Vista, who's one of the best in the state. He had 20+ points in that game, so he was definitely a scoring threat in the paint. We should remind everybody, though, in that tournament up there in Espanola, Eagles are playing Mesa Vista, who was 2nd in the 2A, lost in the championship last year. Bosque School was in the semifinals in the 3A, and Espanola, the final team that they beat, was semifinalists in the 4A. So no slouches in those small division teams the Eagles played at Espanola. But a bigger test tonight, probably their biggest test of the season. Once again, it's going to be San Angelo Central, 12-0 against your Hobbs Eagles at 5-1. We're going to take a minute break as the warm-ups continue here at Task Arena. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Hoops on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Come back with us in 2. Back live here at Task Arena. The Eagles just getting back on the court, ready for the introductions. They got their ceremonial balls in their hands right now, getting ready to throw those to the audience momentarily after the anthem. We should mention at that Espanola tournament, the Eagles got their best point production from Lyric Soria, averaged 15 points, also 75% free throw shooting, and had a total of 7 3-pointers in that ball game, in those 3 ball games. Malachi David averaging 12.6 points a game and 7 rebounds at the tourney. Also had an average of, not an average, he had 6 trays in the game. His best 3 against the opening game, Mesa Vista. No free throws, though, for Malachi David, and would love to see more opportunities to get those freebies from the line. And last but not least, close to double digits, Josiah Clay averaging 9.3 points and 5 rebounds in those 3 opponents that he did face up in Espanola. And one other guy that did get close to double digits, Adarius Proby, averaging 9.3. Sorry about that moment of silence there. Caught into that. I wanted to get quiet there for just a second. But so anyway, Malachi David, Lyric Soria, and Josiah Clay, all 3 close to double digits or into double digits. Matt, national anthem starting now. Let me get off the air for just another 90 seconds. As we get ready for Hobbs Eagle basketball tonight here at Task Arena, Ty Friend here with you. Evie Stuber back at the station as the Hobbs Eagles take on San Angelo Central out of the state of Texas. We mentioned Eagles were at the Espanola tournament last week. In the scoring of those 3 ball games for the Hobbs Eagles, they averaged 67 points with 201 total and gave up only 44 points a game, 134 total for those 3 opponents. So some good numbers there for the Hobbs Eagles in a 2-1 record. As the Hobbs Eagles looking at their scoring as a team this season and the individuals putting in the point production for Hobbs. Leading scorer right now with 17 with 6 games under his belt, Lyric Soria. He definitely is a major force with the Eagles with the shooting and also 90% from the charity stripe. Leads the team at the 3-point area at 14 trays this ball season so far. Right behind him in scoring as well, Malachi David averaging 14 points a game and 9 rebounds a contest. He is second on the team in 3-point shooting as well with 11. Only 5 of 6 from the charity stripe. In fact, did not shoot a free throw at the Espanola tournament, but he is 83% on the season. And the last guy averaging double figures for the 6 games at this point, Josiah Clay. He's averaging 10.7 points a game. He is also 60% from the free throw line, averaging 5 rebounds a contest and has 4 trays to his name. He is currently 3rd, shooting from the 3-point arc. Hobbs is the team at the free throw line, 58 of 85 for 68%. They've got less turnovers than their opponents, 77 versus 86, so 9 less there up through the 6 games so far. Right now, the Eagles' best quarter of the season has been the fourth quarter. Up through that tournament in Espanola, they were 45 points better than their opponents. Now, the one that's kind of a wash, it's been kind of tough for them, has been that third quarter. That's where teams have come out of the chutes into that second half and have got back into ball games. The Eagles got to be careful about letting up the accelerator when they do lead at halftime. And first quarter, about a plus 18 increase in points versus their opponent, and 28 in the second quarter better. But that third quarter is the juggernaut at this point up through 6 games. San Angelo, the Bobcats, your Hobbs Eagles, the Eagles, of course. They're going to wear their white home uniforms, gold numbers, black trim. And we look like we have a little Syracuse orangemen out there for San Angelo, the orange uniforms, white numbers, and blue trim. Second time these two teams have met. Of course, last year we mentioned Hobbs losing by 20+ on the road. Of course, Rick Shedd, the man with all the numbers, win-loss records through the history of the Hobbs Eagle program. And if you ever need to find out what the records are, you find out from him. He knows everything about the program here since the time of Tasker. And now with Coach Ronald Ross, former Tasker player. Hobbs Eagles get ready to jump here, and that'll be Malachi David as he'll go up against TK Taylor, who definitely can dunk. He's 6'6", 180. But Malachi David can stroke the outside shot. He is 6'8". They tip a couple of times by both the big men. Boy, looking at the Taylor kid, he looks like our Jeff Taylor of a couple years back. Kind of had to take a double take. Tip into the backcourt, but it's going to go to San Angelo, driving the lane with the basketball. With the pass, Trey Allen throws a bad one to the right corner, picked away for the Hobbs Eagles by Josiah Clay, the first turnover. He drives the lane to the right side, double clutch, gets double teamed, throws up a rebound, can't get it to drop, and pulled down by the Bobcats in the paint in the hands of Jalen Franklin. Outlet to the far sideline, the big man dribbling. TK Taylor has a man open right corner, 3 on the way for Trey Allen, no good. Ball loose underneath the paint, and we got a save attempt for Braddock Beatty on the left baseline. Couldn't get a grip on it. They're going to say it was hit by one of the San Angelo players. It will be Hobbs basketball. Still scoreless, 7:31 left first quarter. The battle of the neighbors. Coming across the timeline to set it up, Lyric Soria. Gives it off right wing to David. Jab step takes on TK Taylor. Handoff up top to Clay. Bounce pass back door to Beatty on the right baseline. Gets knocked out of bounds. This is only the second game for Beatty. Of course, he was at the All-Star game this weekend. Caught the first touchdown for his team there in Artesia. So congratulations to him. Also, one other guy, Adrian Mora, was on that squad as well for the defense for Hobbs in the All-Star game, but also played some special teams. So we'll see what his time is in this game. That'll be his second one tonight, too. Into the front court, TK Taylor. That was a Hobbs turnover, they call that. Shot from the right wing, 18-footer out the back of the rim. Another save, this time off the hands of the orange team, San Angelo. So they've been one and done in the last times down the court. Hobbs basketball. Nobody has scored yet. Eagle fans on their feet here at Tasker Arena. Into the front court comes Surrey as he grips at his uniform to run the play. Throws over to Clay on the left wing near the scorer's table. Back deep to Beatty. Beatty with his second game averaging 17 in that first contest that he played a week and a half ago. Up top to Clay. Hippity hop. Crossover. Shot from the left elbow. Kind of a flat one off the back of the rim. No good. Rebound at the free throw line by Trey Allen for the Bobcats. Into the front court. Hands off behind. Left wing to Zamarin. To the free throw line. Kick right. Faking a 3 is Allen. He'll back it out. Good defense by Soria to slide with them. Dribbles to the timeline and a handoff to Zamarin to the right wing behind his back. Crossover. Hippity hop through 2 defenders. Takes an extra step and a travel. Try to get between David and Soria there near the right block and picks up the travel. Second turnover for San Angelo. Boy, nobody under the bucket yet. 0-0 still here in the first. We've been about a minute and a half plus so far. Coming across the timeline is Soria. Bounce pass to the left wing. On the pivot is Proby. Hand off with this little wraparound hand to David, top of the circle. Soria comes back to get it left wing. NBA 3 on the way. Hard off the back of the rim. Ripped down again by the Bobcats in transition. Losing it at the free throw line was Allen, but picked up by his teammate. And then pass down the left side to Allen again. He lays it in for 2. Allen going with the scoop shot left as he got a pass from Ian McNeil. After that ball was ricocheted. 2-0. First score of the game. Eagles down by 2. Into the front court, Beatty fakes a handoff, dribbles around the left circle, slings it up top to Proby. Proby drives the left lane, gets it slapped out of his hands on the block. Retrieves it left corner, Give it to David, left side, 18-footer, swishes it. The big man can get the stroke going. He nails it. Defender stayed off of him. TK Taylor, 2-2 your score, tied up here at Tasker Arena. In the front court, Ian McNeil. Dribbles up the near right sideline to the baseline, slings it in the lane. Open Franklin, hook shot off the back of the rim, tipped in the air. Beatty comes down with it for his first rebound. 3-on-3, puts on the brakes, left wing, fires a three, and swishes it. Remember, Braddock Beatty came off the bench for 11 points in his first game in the first quarter. 5-2 Eagles' first lead. Pass down court, deflects off the hands of Trey Allen, left corner deep to the baseline. They're going to say it actually went out on the sideline in front of the student section. The referees are playing volleyball with it, gave it to one, then back to the other. Now they're going to go in the deep left corner, closer to the sideline. San Angelo's front court, inbound near the timeline to Zamarin. Slings it down to the right corner, three on the way. Rainbow three for Allen, nothing but net. He shoots his three fingers up in the air to the crowd here at Tasker. First try of the game for the Bobcats. He's got 5 points, and we're tied at 5. Into the front court comes Soria. Fakes a pass left, give it right instead to Clay. Crossover move. Cross court over to Proby, left baseline, spin move. Spins left, spins right, looking for help, flops it back out to Soria on the left wing. Back deep to Beatty at the timeline. Soria is not a country in the Middle East. Over to Beatty on the right wing, gets a screen from David. Kick it right to Clay. Clay with a nice head fake, dribbles behind his back, step back three on the right side, off the back of the rim. Another rebound for Trey Allen, he's got 3 and all 5 points. Goes to the rack with a scoop off the rim, no good. Rebound right behind him on the left side, no good. Blocked, and David tips it out. Rebound Beatty, his second. Into the front court, up top to Soria. Over to David, wide open, NBA three, rainbow swisher, he's got 2 trays. Boy, Coach Geeter better get somebody out on him. It's 8-5. Eagles by 3. Into the front court, fumbling the basketball in the lane is McNeil. Lost the ball, gets picked up on the right block by Franklin, gets sandwiched between 2 Hobbs Eagle defenders, and there'll be a foul. We'll see if they call this a shooting foul or not. Will be the first one against the Eagles. They charge that one to Darius Proby, his first team foul, and they will give it to San Angelo. That was on the ground on the right baseline underneath the hoop. Inbounding will be McNeil. Bounce it back door. High shot for the left block is good off the glass. TK Taylor with a nice follow through. His first bucket. 8-7. Hobbs still by 1. Into the front court comes Soria with a patient offense, dribbling through his legs against McNeil. Touch pass David as he comes up top of the circle. Over to Clay. A bad pass behind him. Picked off by McNeil. Turnover number 2. He goes to the rack on the right side with a finger roll and scores. 3 scores though so far for the Bobcats, who now lead 9-8. Into the front court, they mix up their guard now for the Eagles, who just checked in. Jadarius Lowe up top to Losoria. Comes right around the circle, double team, gives it back to Lowe, and they're going to call the reach foul. McNeil and Allen were both slapping at the Hobbs Eagle guard. They call that one on McNeil, his first team foul. Stops the clock with 3:16 left here in the first. It's 9-8 Bobcats. Hobbs basketball on the near right sideline to be inbounded by Beatty. One hands it across court to the left corner to Lowe. To Clay on the left wing, tries to dribble, lost the ball, knocked out of his hands, taken away by Taylor. That's the 3rd turnover. Up ahead to Allen on the right side of the block. Sends it back door to the left and laid up and in for 2. Coach Ross thought he traveled. That was Jamarcus Walker with the layup on the left side. His first bucket, it's 11-8. Into the front court. Beatty will hand it off near the timeline to Clay. Sling it down to David in the left corner. He's going to back into his defender, Taylor. Sails it out to Beatty on the far left near the scorer's table. He wants a screen. Here comes David to provide it. Ball gets dribbled off the foot of the defender, Jalen Franklin. So Hobbs retain possession, far left sideline. And the Bobcats got to go to their bench to bring in Aiden Nino and also Emer Campanini. Inbound and double team. Soria left wing. Gives back to Beatty behind him. Up top to Clay. Dumps it down the paint. Spin move for Lowe. Reverse layup right side. Bounce around the rim and good. He went up against the big man that time. Nice body control in the air as he puts it through, does Lowe. His first bucket. 11-10. Hobbs down by 1. In the front court, Trey Allen. Lost it off his own hip. Head fake. Jump stop, top of the circle. Coming to get it is Taylor left to right around the three-point arc. Stop and go against David to the right block. Double clutch. He gets hammered from behind. David went with the head fake. Stepped behind him and tried to slap it from behind and got part of the head. So David will pick up his first personal. Second team foul for the Eagles. And on the line will be TK Taylor. He's got their biggest size out there at 6'6", compared to David's 6'8" for the Eagles. 11-10 score, 1-point lead for the visitor San Angelo. First shot up and off the rim, no good. 0 for 1 from the charity stripe here. Coach Ross going to go to his bench and bring in Adrian Mora, just his second game this season. Of course, he was at the All-Star game, missed the Espanola tournament, as well as Beatty. One more shot coming from TK Taylor. Off the back of the rim, no good. Missed both of them. David just waits flat-footed for it. Got right in his hands there for his first rebound. Outlet to the near side to Soria. Sends it ahead. Beatty, head fake. Double clutch on the right glass against two defenders. Comes off the rim. Pulled down by Taylor, his first board. Comes into the front court off the dribble. Under 2 minutes left first quarter. Handoff on the right wing to Allen. Up top. Flicks it back to McNeil. He'll back it out to the timeline right. With a crossover against Lowe. Jump stop, fade away from the free throw line and switch. Boy, McNeil with a quick release there. He's got 4 points. 13-10. San Angelo's biggest lead of this quarter. Pass up ahead to Beatty in the far left front court. Gets tipped out. Right in the passing lane was Taylor and punched it out to the Hobbs Eagle faithful on that sideline left. Beatty will take a breather. Coming back for the Eagles is Proby. Also still out there, David. And Javen Hernandez in his first action of the game. Of course, he was at the tournament in Espanola. Inbound left wing. Soria throws up a three out the back of the rim. No good. Rebound far right by Nino. Sends it to the middle of the court. Nick Neal to bring it across. Stop and go. Underhands it. Left block over to Campanini. Kick out right wing. Three on the way for Allen off the rim. Chased down in the right corner, and on the dribble is Proby. His first rebound. Proby one-hands it up ahead to Mora. Left wing front court. Fires a three. Rainbow off the back of the rim. Pulled down underneath by Taylor, his second. Eagles not getting offensive rebounds. Taylor with a drive into the front court, right wing, crossover, goes baseline, spin, fadeaway jumper, 15-footer, and scores. Taylor with 4. Proby tried to get a handoff a little too late that time. The biggest lead now for the Bobcats is 5. 50 seconds left first quarter. Up ahead to David, left corner, goes baseline. Throws a high pass to the free throw line, picked up by Allen, turnover number 4. Into the front court, 2-on-2, crossover move. Lowe gets it out of his hands, picked up by Soria. On the turnover for the Bobcats, their third. Soria spins in the paint, kicks it down to Lowe on the left wing. Over the left corner to Soria, drives baseline. Scoop shot left, no good. Tipped up by David, can't get the drop, goes up a second time on the right block, and throws it off the rim for 2. David now with 4 points. Score now 15-12. Actually, David with 7 points. 15 seconds left in the opening quarter. Slowing it up as he comes across the timeline. Dribbling through his legs now is Trey Allen. They're going to call a push-off foul. Allen took a shove on Soria, so that'll be a foul on him. That's his first, second team foul. Also a turnover number 4. Both teams have 4 turnovers so far. Malachi David with 7 points. Beatty hit a tray for 3. Jadarius Lowe has a bucket for 2. 3 scores. And there's 4 in the scorebook for the Bobcats. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Soria going to shoot at 3 after a screen on the right wing, and nothing but net. They hit the buzzer. That will be it for the first quarter. Hobbs Eagles nailed 3 trays in the first quarter. They tied the score 15-all with San Angelo Central. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Get ready for second quarter action here from Task Arena. Ty Friend here with you. E.B. Stuber back at the station. Your Hobbs Eagles and the San Angelo Central Bobcats tied at 15 at the end of 1. Scoring for the Bobcats, the leader Trey Allen with 5, including a tray and 3 rebounds. McNeil and Taylor both have 4 points. Jamarcus Walker with a bucket for 2. So 4 scores for the Bobcats. Leading your Eagles, Malachi David with 7, 1 tray. Braddock Beatty came off with a tray for 3. Lyric Suri hit a tray for 3, and Jadarius Lowe with the bucket for 2. So the Hobbs Eagles right now with 3 trays to start the opening of this ball game. Both teams with 4 turnovers. Eagles have been out-rebounded 8-6 in the first. Beatty with the basketball in the front court to start the second. Top of the circle off the dribble, drives the lane, a runner shot with 2 hands out the front of the rim, no good. Rebound with the football throw to the other end for Franklin, laying it up off the left glass. It's good. As it rolls around for Jamarcus Walker, his 4th point of the ball game. By the way, the rebound for Franklin was his 3rd. 17-15, San Angelo Central. In the front court with the basketball is Clay, top of the circle, guarded by McNeil. Stop and go, crossover, free throw line to the left elbow, double team, gets stripped, kick out to Beatty, NBA 3 left side, bouncing off the rim, no good. Lowe tries to get a hand on it, but stepping in front of him to knock it out with Jamarcus Walker. Hobbs Eagle basketball underneath their hoop, trailing by 2. We got a score coming out of El Paso. Hobbs Lady Eagles leading El Paso Bel Air in the second, 26-8. 18-point lead, thanks to Evie back at the station, keeping us updated. That game is also on HobbsAmerica.com if you want to flip between the two. On the right baseline for the Eagles, Lowe to inbound underneath the Eagle hoop. Back deep to David, but a low pass coming in, picked away for the 5th turnover. Reverse layup from right to left to the other end by Nino, misses it. Rebound left corner by Taylor, his 3rd. Dumps it to the free throw line to Walker. Back to Taylor with an alley-oop and just barely pushes it in. He wanted to dunk it, but couldn't get the control, but he does have 6 points now. Push shot on that one. Hippity hop, down the lane goes the Eagles. Clay backdoor, the first points of the season for Adrian Mora, the recipient on the layup, left side of the rim. 19-17 Bobcats though. Eagles down by 2. In the front court, Walker backs it out, looks back to his coach at the other baseline for the play call. Handoff, far right sideline to Taylor. Back to Walker, right corner. Rainbow 3 off the side of the rim, no good. In transition on the rebound is Clay for the Eagles. Bounce pass to a breaking Beatty up court. Sails through the lane, rolls into the baseline. Waiting to see if anybody touched it for the orange team. Referee's having a conference now. Beatty just kind of let up because he thought the ball was kicked. He's showing the referee that the foot came out. They're not going to give it to him, though. It'll be San Angelo's ball. 6th turnover for the Eagles. Getting some boos from the black and gold fans here at Tasker. Not happy about that one. 19-17, San Angelo Central by 2. Inbound deep left corner, backcourt McNeil. Slings it across the court to Allen far right, returns it back to McNeil on the yo-yo pass. Into the front court, crossover to his left hand, backs it out. Proby going to step out on defense. Back to his left hand on the crossover. Jump stop, left block. Kick it up top to Taylor. Crossover move. Scoop shot left side, it gets fouled. A wrist shot by David. Gave him a first step. Taylor to the hoop. And then trying to swap from behind was David. That's happened to him twice. Second foul on David. That will be the first team foul, though, in the second quarter as we started back at zeros. Although Taylor had some issues in the first quarter from the charity stripe, 0 for 2. Only free throw shooter in the game so far, and he's back up again. Free throw up and good. That's a 3-point play. 7 points for him. Make it 9 after the 3-point play. And we got a timeout. Looks like Coach Ross wants to have a 30-second discussion with his squad. Biggest lead of the ball game has been matched by San Angelo. It's 5. 22-17 over the Eagles. Back at 30 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Your Hobbs Eagles trail by 5 to San Angelo Central, 22-17 here at Tasker Arena. Game number 7 for the Eagles, coming in at 5-1. San Angelo at 12-0. Teams played last year for the first time. Fortunately for the Eagles, losing 76-55. Hobbs was down by 15 at the half and outscored 36-30 in the second half. Eagles with a couple of passes across the timeline. Proby has to save it front court near side. And he goes out of bounds, so Hobbs already with another turnover. There's 7 total now, compared to 4 for San Angelo. 6:03 left here in the second. Inbounding near left sideline, front or backcourt is Walker. Gets it into McNeil, slings over to the right corner to Taylor. Dumps it back door in the layup, rolls around the rim and good on the right side. Nino cutting the hoop. That's his first bucket. They've got 5 scores so far. 24-17, their biggest lead for the Bobcats. Trap pressure going on, a 1-2-2. Full court. Ball in the hands of Clay, far left. Gets a double team as he comes across. Scoops it back to Proby. Top of the circle. Stop and go. One hand pass to Clay on the right wing. Returns to Proby. Give and go. Runner shot with 2 hands coming down the lane and puts it through. Proby nails his first bucket. It's 24-19. Long pass to the other end. High shot at the left glass and scoring is Jalen Franklin. Eagles caught asleep on that one. His first bucket. 26-19, a 7-point lead again. To the other end goes Clay. Going through traffic in the lane. Weaves out back to the left wing. Unloads to Beatty on that same side. Up top to Proby to set up the O. Guarding him closely is Franklin. Hand off to Clay to the right wing. Crossover move. Goes to the rack through 2 defenders. Double clutch and scores. Clay with his first bucket. 7 scores for the Eagles. They're down by 5. 26-21 here in the second. Across the timeline comes McNeil. The Eagles with a 1-2-1-1 now. Spins as he loses the dribble. Throws a pass to the left wing. Taylor fumbles it and picks it up. Kick it down left corner to Walker. Back up top to McNeil. NBA 3 on the way over an outstretched Soria defender hand. Rebound free throw line off the rim. Walker misses it. Pulled down by the Eagles by Beatty on the left block. That's his 3rd rebound. Throw it ahead to Soria left block. Head fake. Give it to Proby coming down the lane. A little finger roll over the front of the rim. Proby's back to back. He's got 4 points in the paint. 26-23. Eagles down by 3. Going to the other end. Walker in the lane. Gives it down to a breaking guard on the right block. Misses the push shot from Nino. Beatty with the transition rebound for the Eagles, his 4th. Goes back door. Laying it in is low on the left side. Correction, Justice French. French just came off the bench. He was out to the races. Waited for the pass and laid it in. That's going to get San Angelo to call the timeout. So the Hobbs Eagles really turning things around. Down by 7. Now it's just a 1-point game. A 6-0 run for the Eagles. 4:09 remaining, second quarter. San Angelo 26, Hobbs 25. Back in 30 here at Tasker Arena. Game has gotten closer here at Tasker. Hobbs down by as many as 7 here in the second quarter. Got it to 1 deficit with a 6-0 run. Proby really starting to stroke it with 4 points here in the second. And Clay Moore and French have all scored a bucket. A lot of those coming in transition. Hobbs down by 1 after a San Angelo timeout. Central throws it down right corner to Taylor. Bounce it right baseline to Franklin. Back to Taylor. Kick it up top to McNeil. Sling it left side to Zamarin. Down the left corner to Walker. Give it back to left block to Zamarin. Lost the ball. Picked up right corner by Taylor. Fadeaway jumper coming to the paint and gets it through the net. Taylor, the leading scorer for the Bobcats. 11 points leading both teams. 28-25. Eagles down by 3. Into the front court, Beatty left corner. Throws a high pass in the air. Swatted back to Clay. Luckily, good job of Proby getting in the air. Dribbles the right elbow. Shot on the way. Fade. Off the back of the rim. No good. And as the ball gets rebounded by Zamar near the hoop, Justice French puts out a big wingspan on him and takes a chop at him. So Zamar gets the rebound. Foul on French. Ill-advised foul, too. He'd already got the ball in his chest and was going up court, and then that's when French reached from behind. First on French, second team foul on the Eagles. And some subbing here for Coach Ross. See who he's brought onto the court here. Looks like Lowe has returned in the guard core. Proby's still out there. Justice French. Soria returns, and Beatty. Coming across the timeline is McNeil. Slings it down left corner to Taylor. Jump to the air. Spin move. Left block. Reverse slam underneath the hoop. Left to right. But he ran into French. So French has scored a bucket and got a charge in just a few minutes of play here in the second quarter. So Taylor's first personal. That'll be the first team foul on the Bobcats and the 5th turnover. 28-25, though. They lead by 3. Quickly in the front court, Soria. Bounce pass to Beatty. Top of the circle. Touches it off to the free throw line to Proby. Spins, kick out left to Lowe. Dump it down to French, left block, double team. Back to Proby coming down the lane. His shot gets swatted in the air by Taylor and tipped out by McNeil. Into the front court. Ball gets kicked out of bounds. It might have gone off the foot of Allen. Allen's arguing with the official there. It will be Hobbs basketball after a 6th Bobcat turnover. Justice French will leave the game, getting a nice round of applause for his work there for the Eagles. And returning for Hobbs, Malachi David, who leads with 7 points, including a tray in the first quarter. Coming across the timeline, Soria down by 3. Bounce pass to Beatty, left wing. Stepping out on him is Franklin. Dribbles the left corner, spin move, stays outside the circle. Give to David to come behind him. Click it down to the right corner. 3 on the way for the Eagles, and Lowe hits it sidewinder. Going up against the big man, Taylor. Lowe with the 5 points and 4 trays for the Eagles total. It's 28 all. Back to a tie like it was at 15. Pass to the left wing to Zamar. Gets his shot blocked. Good job by Soria. Rebound pulled down for the Eagles by Malachi David, his third. Up ahead to Soria. Fakes it 3 on the right, but dribbles it off his back right ankle. They're going to say it also touch Allen, though. Hobbs will keep the ball. It was very close. Looks like Coach Jeter has taken off his arm sling. He was flailing around a little bit there. Inbound to Beatty, left wing. Fadeaway 3 off the back of the iron. Pulled down underneath by Taylor, his 4th board for the Bobcats. Sends it ahead to McNeil, right wing. Cross court left to Allen. Drives the paint. Jump stop with a free throw. And then fires up a J and scores. That's Allen's 7th point. 28-30. Hobbs down by 2. Into the front court. One hand bounce pass to Lowe down the lane. Ahead of Proby, though. Stolen by Taylor. That'll be the Eagles' 8th turnover. He tries to get it down low to the right block and try to go up strong with it is Franklin. Whistle underneath. I believe there might have been a foul there. Ball got knocked out hard to the baseline. They are going to call it against the Eagles, swatting at the pass, but coming down to the potential shooter as well. They call that against Jadarius Lowe, his first, 3rd team foul. This is only the 2nd free throw shooter on the line for the game. Hobbs has not been to the charity stripe yet. Remember, they didn't have much attempts against Espanola, 7 of 9 on Saturday. First shot is up and good for Franklin. He's 1 for 1. As a team, they are 2 for 4. Mora returns for the Eagles as Lowe will take a breather. Franklin will get 1 more. Remember, the Eagles are 68% on the season but have not shot the free throw. 2nd shot no good. Beatty will rip it off the rim and run out to it on the left corner. That's his 5th rebound after that miss by Franklin. Sends it ahead to Lowe in the left wing. Up top, David fires a 3 and swishes another one. Malachi David with 2 trays, the 5th for the Eagles. He's got 10 to lead his squad. 31 all. Underneath the hoop, going hard to the rack right side is Taylor. Off the rim, put back up on the right block, off the glass by Franklin, no good for his 4th rebound. In transition off the rebound is Moore for the Eagles. Sends it over to Beatty, left wing. Scoop pass backed up top to Soria. Top of the circle, back out. To the timeline with 1:20 left in the half. To the right wing, crossover move. To David again, wide open 3 again, this one off the rim. Ball loose on the far right sideline, pulled away for the Bobcats by McNeil with 2nd rebound. Gets it to the time stripe to Franklin. Dribbles hard with his left hand. Lost the ball at the defensive low. Picked up for the Eagles by Mora. He tries to dribble down the right side of the lane at the other end. Get knocked out of his hands as well. But the Eagles retain possession on the baseline underneath their hoop. The 7th San Angelo turnover. Eagle guards getting a piece of the basketball. That was Lowe that got the pick at the other end defensively. 1:02 remaining in the second. We're tied at 31. Both athletic teams like to get up and down the court. Inbounding will be Soria on the left baseline. And we got a whistle before he got a chance to throw it in. Looks like some banging going on in the paint. Foul count was 3-1 in favor of San Angelo. They call this one the Bobcats, though. That is going to be Emir Campanini, his first, 2nd team foul. Hobbs again throwing from the left baseline. Soria throws it deep into David at the baseline. He tries to save it, and they're going to say he stepped on the baseline. So a turnover for the Eagles, their 9th. We mentioned the Eagles compared to their opponents, 77 turnovers into this game and 86 for their opponents, 9 less. But right now the count 9 for the Eagles and 7 at this game here at Tasker. 1 minute left in the first half, tied up at 31. It's also tied at 15 earlier. Deep pass down the left corner, faking a 3. Is Allen decides to shoot anyway off the left rim, no good. Sorry with the rebound left corner, his first. Gets it ahead on the near side of Mora. Dribbles in the right corner of the front court and got it knocked out. Got a double team. He's gotten lucky on his last 2 dribbles up the court. The ball was knocked out of his hands both times and it rolled to the baseline, so Hobbs retains possession. Proby will check in for Mora, who takes a seat. Eagle basketball underneath their hoop, right corner. Tied up at 31. 44 seconds left here in the half. Soria getting ready to find somebody open. They run a box formation in the paint. Get it into Proby, right corner. Pivot, spin to the baseline. He'll stay in the corner now. Spins it back to the baseline, dribbling through his legs. Hand off near beside him to Soria, right wing. Back to Proby. Probably dribbling through his legs again, right side. One hands it down to Beatty, but short pass, stolen away underneath by Campanini. That is going to be the 10 turnover. Sends it ahead to a leaning Taylor towards the hoop on the right side. Uses his 6'6" frame to tap it in. That's going to be a 15 for Taylor. 17 seconds left in this half. In the front court, Soria down by 2. Hand off to Beatty left wing. Returns to Soria left side. To David, fakes it 3, top of the arc. Hippity hop down the lane, scoop shot, bounce around the rim, and good. Nice finger control by David. 12 points for him. 1 second left in the half, and they're just going to hold on the baseline as the Bobcats will be happy with the tie. At the end of 2 quarters of play here at Task Arena, Hobbs 33, San Angelo Central 33. We got a battle here at home, and we'll be back in 3 minutes on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We've got ourselves a tie here at Task Arena here at halftime. Your Hobbs Eagles and San Angelo Central at 33 Both teams were at 15 at the end of one. Both scored 18 points in quarter number 2. That's where we're at this point. Look at the scoring. There's one in double figures for San Angelo. That is TK Taylor with 13 points. He is 1 of 3 for the charity stripe for 33% and 4 rebounds. He is tied for Franklin with the top rebounding numbers. Also in the scorebook, 7 for Trey Allen, including a Trey with his first name as well, spelled the same too, T-R-E-Y, had 3 rebounds. Other scores for the Bobcats, including a couple of buckets for McNeil in the first quarter for 4. Jamarcus Walker, a bucket of each quarter, he got 4. Jalen Franklin got all 3 of his points in the second, 1 of 2 free throw shooting and a bucket, 4 rebounds. Again, he's tied with Taylor for top glass honors. And 1 score for Aiden Nino on a bucket for 2 points. They've had a total of 6 scores in the first half. They are 2 of 5 from the charity stripe are the Bobcats for 40%. I've only hit 1 tray in the game. That was Allen. And have 7 turnovers. There are 3 less than the Hobbs Eagles. Right now, San Angelo leads a rebounding game as well, 15-13 by 2 over Hobbs. The Hobbs Eagle numbers, they'd have a double-digit score as well, and that's Malachi David, the big man. He's had 2 trays, 1 in each quarter, and has 12 points, 1 shy of Taylor, the leader for San Angelo. A little bit of a drop-off for second. Jadarius Lowe with 5 points, including a tray. Darius Proby got 2 buckets in the second quarter for 4 points. Braddock Beatty jumped in a 3 with a 3-point situation now. Lyric Soria had a tray as well for 3. Bunch of guys with a bucket apiece. Josiah Clay, also Justice French and Adrian Mora, all 2 points apiece. Clay with 2 rebounds. Mora pulled down 1 as well. So the Hobbs Eagles so far in the first half with 8 scores, 1 more than San Angelo. In terms of the 3-pointers, they've got 5 versus 1 for the Bobcats. The Eagles have yet to shoot a free throw in the first half. They've had 10 turnovers. Again, that's 3 more than San Angelo had. And trailing the rebounding by 2, 15-13. Top board man is Braddock Beatty with 5, Malachi David 3, and Josiah Clay with 2. Again, your score at the half, 33-all. Hobbs and San Angelo at Task Arena. We'll be back in 2.5 minutes live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Still at halftime here at Task Arena, about less than a minute to go before both teams are ready to get on the court for third quarter action. Hobbs in a huddle, and San Angelo Central just got back out here in their orange uniforms. Got some score updates thanks to Evie back at the station. We're also covering the Hobbs Lady Eagles tonight on HobbsAmerica.com. Free video, of course. Boy, they continue to extend their lead, 50-8 over the El Paso Bel Air squad. That's a third quarter score. They just got underway from this halftime, but 50-8 in favor of Hobbs. 42-point lead there. No mercy rule in Texas, by the way, so that game will continue on normal time. Of course, the Hobbs Lady Eagles would love to add on to their wins, especially on the road. That's a little road trip for them, about 4 hours down there to El Paso. Another game going on in Lovington. The Lovington Lady Cats lead over Roswell in the first quarter, 17-13. Last night, Lovington had a big win over Eunice in the Lee County battle in Eunice. So they've got games back-to-back. All of the Lee County basketball games are live for you on our HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Facebook pages that we offer those 5 schools, and, of course, boys and girls action, too. So Hobbs Holiday Tournament coming up, both for the Hobbs boys and girls. That should be exciting as usual. Have all the games for you here on the internet and the radio. As we get ready for third quarter action, it will be basketball in the hands of the Texas squad. San Angelo coming across the timeline after a spin move. Miguel Zamran gets it down in the paint to Taylor. Fadeaway hook shot in the middle of the paint and puts it through. Taylor with 15 to lead both teams. They take the first lead of the second half, 35-33. We've been tied at the end of one and halftime, 15-33. Now it's 35-33. In the front court, Proby right wing. One hands it up top to David. David returns over to Soria right wing. Fadeaway three from the sideline, no good. High in the air for the rebound is Allen, his fourth. Into the front court to McNeil. Drives the lane, bounce pass left block to Franklin. Kicks out left corner, dribbling a few steps, and then firing an 18-footer was Zamiran, no good. David gets a rebound. Bad transition pass. It gets deflected, though, to Beatty, who takes it to the rack left side. Getting flat-footed was San Angelo. Beatty now with 5 points, 35 all. Going to the other end, down the right lane is McNeil. Gets bumped out to the baseline. Took a forearm shot from Soria. Official calls it a little late there, but that gets it regardless. Actually, that might not be Soria. No, that's Proby instead. That's a second on Proby. First team foul on the Eagles here in the third. San Angelo basketball underneath their hoop, right baseline. Bounce it in off the leg of the Eagle defender on the baseline. That was Lyric Soria. The inbounder couldn't find anybody open, so McNeil threw it off his leg. Inbounds up top instead now to Taylor. Taylor to the free throw line to McNeil. Spans, lost the ball. Proby gets a steal. Turnover number 8 for the Bobcats. Drives the lane, windmill layup, and gets hammered from behind. He drove down to the left side of the lane, got through 3 defenders, and tried to windmill up underneath them. Looked like possibly Trey Allen was the one that came down on him. He was the closest to the area, and that is who they got it against. His second. First team foul here in the third quarter. The first free throw attempt of the game for the Hobbs Eagles here in the third quarter now. Proby is perfect on the season, just 2 for 2. So hopefully we can get a freebie here to break this 35-all tie. And in and out as I say that, no good. Hobbs 0 for 1 on the line. At the half, San Angelo 2 for 5 for 40%. Have yet to shoot a free throw here in the third. Only eating away about 1 minute and 4 seconds here in the third. Proby's second shot is in and out again, same location. Got a whistle after the shot. Oh, they're going to go with a violation. Looks like they said that McNeil stepped in too quickly on that right side of the paint, so this might be going back for another free throw, which it is. Proby with a pretty decent tournament. He had 11 in game 1, 13 in game 2. A little bit of a drop-off in game 3, but with 28 points, averaging 9.3 a game and 3.3 rebounds. So nice job for him up in Espanola. Second shot after the retake is good for Proby. He's got 5 points. Eagles 1 and 2 from the line. They lead 36-35. Into the front court, a hard pass coming to McNeil. Fumbled it, fell to the floor, but they're going to say he was hipped by Clay. Looked like he lost his own balance, but now he's got an ankle problem there as he limps to the far left sideline. Crowd's moaning about that call. Yeah, it looked like he slipped on his own, but Clay will pick up the foul, his first. That will be the second team foul here for the Eagles in the second half. And they're going to sub him out, so McNeil did get an injured ankle there. And checking in for him is Aiden Nino. Bobcat basketball, far left sideline of the front court. They'll get it into the left corner. Ricochet off Allen, tries to save it, but they're going to say touched as well by Proby for the Eagles. So it will be San Angelo basketball. You're listening live to HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, the Cool 95.7 Facebook page, and on the radio, HobbsAmerica.com. or on your Cool 95.7 app on your cell phone. Inbound left block to Taylor, spins, reverse slam, left to right and scores. Actually, no, that was Franklin. He handed off to Franklin as he came through the lane. Franklin went up strong with the right side reverse. 5 for Franklin. 37-36. Bobcats back up by 1. Top of the arc. Clay gets a screen. Doesn't use it around the right circle off the dribble. Handed off. Gets it rejected back to him. Comes down the lane. Wraparound pass from right to left to the paint. Tried to get it to David. Kind of out of control that time for Clay, but he did get a foul call by the official. Somebody was ripping at his arm that time. They're going to foul that one against Franklin, his first, second team foul. Eagle basketball right to Soria, baseline, gets it into Beatty. Hard shot at the left side of the rim on the layup, gets bodied into. Count the basket with some nice glass work there for Beatty, and a chance for a three-point play. They call that on TK Taylor, his second, third team foul. Beatty now with 7 points. 2 buckets here in the third quarter, and a chance to extend the lead to 2 at the one made free throw. Hobbs 1 of 2 from the line, both shot by Proby just seconds ago. So here comes the free throw for Beatty, and he swishes it. He's got 8 points. Beatty came into the game 2 for 5 from the line for 40%. 39-37 Eagles. Pass to half court to Taylor, bring it across the big man for the Bobcats. One-hand bouncer back to the time stripe to Walker. Sends it to the left wing to Zamarin. Guarded by Clay. Zamarin sliding left to right off the dribble near the Hobbs Eagle logo. One hands it over to Taylor left wing. Guarded by David, the other big man. Kick right to Zamarin to the right baseline to Nidnia. Back up top to the right wing. Now Zamarin fires up a 3 and puts it through NBA distance. His first tray and points of the game. Second tray for the team. Still at half court, stripped away by the Bobcat defender Franklin. Eagles 11 turnover. Pass over to left wing to Nino. Slings it down left corner, or Franklin to baseline. He goes up strong with the hook and is pushed in the back. Officials just thought, or the Hobbs Eagle fans thought that was just a hand check, but they said there was an extended arm underneath. Made him to miss the layup on the left side. They called against Beatty, his first. Little football physicality there for Braddock, even though he just played wide receiver. And that will put on the line Jalen Franklin, who is 1 of 2 back in the second quarter. 1 point Bobcat lead, trying to make it 3 with a couple of free throws here. A lot of time taken here on the line. First one up and good. 6 points for Franklin. And returning for the Bobcats is Trey Allen. For the Hobbs Eagles, Jadarius Lowe for Soria. Beatty remains in the game along with David, Proby, and Clay. Second shot coming for Franklin. He's going to get, if he does get the free throw, he'll be second tied for scoring for Trey Allen. And he misses out the back of the rim. Rebound by Beatty underneath his 6th board. Into the front court, driving the left side lane. 1-2 and up on the reverse and scored. Wide steps that time for Beatty. He has scored 7 of his 10 points here in the third. We're tied at 41. 5:20 left here in the third quarter at Tasker Arena. In the front court is Allen. Taking on Beatty with a spin move. Left side of the lane. Windmill pass down low on the right block. Pushing up with 2 hands is Franklin to score from the backside. He's got 8. 5 of those coming here in the third. 43-41. San Angelo in the front court. Low dribbling through his legs. Tries to flick a little push pass up the near sideline. Got knocked up in the air and then lost control of it out of bounds to the Taskovich band area. That'll be the Eagles' 12th turnover. Got a little bit tricky with that time. Tried to one-hand it, flat-handed above the defender, and he got slapped out of his hands and he touched it again. Clay's going to take a breather. Soria checks in for him. Looks like another sub as well for Coach Ross. As returning to the ball game is Adrian Mora coming in for Proby. San Angelo basketball leading by 2. Their biggest lead in the first half was 7 in the second quarter. Inbounding in the backcourt. Gets it into Walker from McNeil. Walker in the front court, picked up by Beatty and Lowe. Dumps it in the paint, down to the big man Taylor. Reverse layup, left to right. He loves those reverses in the lane. He's got 17. Reminds me of that kid for Mesa Vista back on Thursday with 20-plus points, doing about the same thing. Not as many fadeaways, but he loves those crossovers and reverses. 45-41, a 4-point lead for San Angelo, biggest of the second half. In the front court, Soria unloads to the right wing to Moore. Tough pressure on top of him by Walker. Pass to half court to Mostolen. David picks it up. Throws a high one down to Beatty, right corner. Back to David, top of the arc. Kind of rushing the passes over to Beatty. Had to chase it down on the far right sideline in front of the scorer's table. He wants it clear out against Ian McNeil. 4:15 left in the quarter. Stop and go. Cross over to his right hand. Spin move to the free throw line. Looking for help. No look pass left corner to low. Hippity hop down the lane. Runner shot off the back of the rim. Tipped up in the air and pulled down by Taylor for the Bobcats. His 5th rebound. Throws it ahead to a breaking Walker. He'll back it out on the right wing. Sling it down the lane to Franklin. Reverse layup right side and puts it through. 10 points for Franklin. 7 coming in the third and 6-point Bobcat lead. Into the front court, stop and go for Soria, left wing. Crossover to his left hand. Gives it David on the left wing for 3 off the rim, no good. Rebound on the left block by Walker, his first rebound. Stolen by Beatty, fade on the left block, leaning towards the hoop. Gets whacked hard and a foul. That's going to be San Angelo's night turnover and puts Beatty on the line. Beatty scored on a 3-point play in this quarter. He's 1 for 1 of the charity stripe. 7 of his 10 points here in the third. Going to try to whittle away at the 6-point deficit with 2 free throws here. Beatty's first shot is up and good. He's got 11 points. Again, this is his 2nd game of the season. He was at the All-Star game in Artesia for football along with Mora this past Saturday. It took a few days with practices, etc., so he didn't get to play in any one of those 3 games in Espanola. One more shot for Beatty. Now perfect, 3 for 3 on the line as he converts on the second. He's got 12 points, tying up with David for top scorer right now. 3:39 left, third quarter. We got a timeout on the court. Hobbs down by 4 to San Angelo, 47-43. Back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. .339 left, third quarter here at Tasker Arena as the Hobbs Eagles trail San Angelo Central 47-43. San Angelo Central 12-0 on the season. The Hobbs Eagles at 5-1. Some Lee County score updates from El Paso. The Hobbs Lady Eagles extend their lead 61-17 at the end of 3. And the Lovington Lady Cats at halftime now over Roswell 29-25. Thanks, Evie, back at the station. So a couple other Lee County games going on tonight. Of course, the Hobbs Eagles, with this game and a little bit of a break after that, we'll get you caught up on all their scheduling here in just a few minutes. Eagles showing a 2-3 zone after their timeout, down by 4. 3:30 left, third quarter. Into the front court, pass to Zamrin, left wing, down the lane. There's that man again with the finger roll. TK Taylor left to right, same spot he did his shot from seconds ago. He is fouled going up, misses off the rim. Boy, does he play like Jeff Taylor, the Hobbs Eagles from years back, the Gatorade Player of the Year for New Mexico. Kind of looks like him, has a kind of a glide just like Taylor does. Double checking to see who that foul was against. It looks like Malachi David gets his third, 14th foul on the Eagles. First free throw's up, bounce around the rim and good. He is 2 for 4 from the charity stripe, 50%. Has 18 points, had 13 at halftime, so he has 5 in this third quarter. Second shot is up, and it's a swish. 19 now for Taylor, leading both teams. Eagles down by 6, 49-43, 3:25 remaining. The clock is stopped, though. Now they're getting it going again. Get it into David in the front court left wing, puts it back to Soria timeline, over to low right wing, give and go back to Soria. Bounce pass towards the baseline is knocked out by Ian McNeil for the Bobcats, so Hobbs will retain possession right of the rim. Proby's going to return for Hobbs, and Mora will take a seat. Clock stop with 3:20 left here in the third, and a 6-point lead. Underhand inbound, over to Clay, left corner. His three is on the way over the defender's outstretched arm. He stretches it over Allen for the bucket. Clay with a tray. He's got 5 points. The 6th tray of the ball game for the Eagles, down by 3. Into the front court comes Ian McNeil. slowing down to get the offense set with 3 minutes left in the third. Guarded by Soria. One-hand pass over to Taylor. Drives baseline, fakes a jumper. Bounces to the right wing to Allen. Almost took his legs out that time, his ankles. And returns to the timeline to Zamrin. Again to Allen, right corner. Bounce pass right baseline to Campanini. Return right wing to Zamrin. Cross it over to McNeil on the left side. He'll back it out near the scorer's table. Going to run some clock here. Dribble with the right hand to the right circle. Hand off to Taylor, the big man. Picked up by Proby. Returns the right side to McNeil. Jab step. Proby will switch to him. Crossover move. McNeil down the lane. Jump stop. Fade away. Free throw line. Bounces off the front rim. No good. David with his fifth rebound for the Eagles. He'll give it off to Lowe in the backcourt. One-hand bounce pass. Returns to David on the front side right wing. And back to the time stripe to Lowe. Coming to get it is Soria with the handoff on the Hobbs Eagle logo. He'll dribble right. Dump it down to David, right block, triple team. Over left side to Proby, fakes a three, underhands it to Low left corner, dribbles to the left side and gives it off to Soria. Soria's gonna back into his defender, back into the left block to Clay off the pass. He's gonna dribble to the left corner. Returns to Soria, coming down the left side of the lane, puts on the brakes at the free throw line, bounce pass to Proby underneath, reverse layup right side and scores. He kept his head down and went up strong with it. Puts it through, does Proby. He's got 7 points. 1 point lead for San Angelo Central. 49-48, 1:40 left, third quarter. In the front court in the right corner is Trey Allen. Crossover. Stand with him is Lowe. Hip to hip. Makes him flush himself out back to the timeline off the dribble. Sends it over to the left wing to Taylor. Hard first dribble down the lane. Pass to the right corner to Zamrin. Comes baseline. Dribbles it off the leg of Lowe, who is trying to defend him, and Lowe's doing a good job of putting some super glue on those hips and staying right with him. Could have easily gone off the orange player instead, but it will be San Angelo basketball. Coach Ross back to the bench as he brings in Justice French, and Beatty returns as well. Soria stays out there as well as Clay. Inbound to the right corner, three on the way, wide open off the rim though for Zamrin. Pulled down by Lowe on the far right sideline. So Lowe gets the rebound, his first, gets it across court to Beatty now on the front side. Slides over to the right off the dribble, going to set up the play with some patience here. Dribbles the left side of the arc, drives the lane, back door to French, gets rejected on the double clutch back of him. As a couple of hands swinging at him that time, McNeil and Taylor, they get all leather. No, they call the late foul. Wow. Didn't see the hand go up by the official. That's McNeil's second. 14th foul, make it fifth. That is going to be double bonus the rest of the 105 of this third quarter. Justice French on the line. His first chance for free throws in this game. Hobbs first one missed. Hobbs is now 3 for 6. Or make it 4 for 6 after that miss. French came into the game 2 for 4 on the season for 50%. He'll get one more here. Second shot is off the back of the rim, no good. Leaping rebound by Taylor, his 6th board. Goes it across the timeline, wide open right corner. Allen faked a three. They're gonna say he got pushed in the hip. Proby, as he faked the three in the corner, he started to put his head down and come around the circle, and Proby reached out to give him a jab in the hip. So Proby will pick up his third, and that's 5 now on the Eagles. So both teams in the double bonus the rest of this third quarter, under a minute left, and a 1-point Bobcat lead. Bobcats keep getting these 7, 6-point leads, and the Eagles come storming back like they did here for the last few times up the court. First free throw, bounces around the rim and rolls off the right side. Allen misses his first attempt of the game. They've had 10 free throws in this contest and a converted 5, so 50%, 5 of 10. 49-48, one more shot coming. It's off the front of the rim, no good. Yanked down by Justice French, but the rebound his first. Outlet to the time stripe. Beatty will come across, fakes a pass left, reverse layup to the left side of the rim, and scores. Great head fake, 2 for Beatty. He continues to dump in points in the third. Long pass to the other end. Double clutch off the right side is Taylor. 51-50. San Angelo with 38 seconds left in the third. Beatty gets a double team in the backcourt. Gets into the timeline to Lowe. Lowe stretches out, almost got a travel. Pass to Clay, who gets bumped on the far right side in front of the scores table. And putting a chest into him was Miguel Zamrin, his first. That will be a double bonus once again for the Eagles. Braddock Beatty on fire right now. He's got 11 points here in the third, 14 overall. Kind of like his first game where he had 11 points in the first quarter and finished with 17. He's only 3 away from that 17 mark right now, but on the line is Josiah Clay. Bounce around the rim on the first free throw and good. He's got 6 now. Eagles are 5 of 8 from the charity stripe. and tied the score with that free throw at 51 all. Boy, this is a back-and-forth affair here at Tasker Arena. 51-51 with 31 seconds left here in the third. Clay gets one more free throw. Clay averaging 10.7 points a game and scores the second one as well. Clay now with 7. 52-51, the Eagles back up by 1. Slowing it down now is McNeil with 25 left as he comes across the timeline. One-hand bounce pass right wing to Walker. Good D by Loeb and really put some aggressive stuff on him, making him lose the basketball. Tried to do a little shake and bake, and he lost it off his right side. Went out of bounds, so Walker paying the price with Lowe's D, and that will be the 10th turnover for San Angelo Central. That's not going to make their head coach, Arsenio Jeter, happy. He goes right to his bench, brings in a sub, Trey Allen, for the guard who just lost the basketball, being too tricky against Lowe, who is not going to be fooled by that shake and bake look. Eagles can extend their lead from 1 right now with 20 seconds left in the quarter. In the backcourt is Soria. He's going to take on McNeil. Into the front court now to the right wing. Off the dribble. Crossover, bounce pass up top to Beatty. Beatty with the jab step. One-hander down to David on the left block off the bounce. Pivots to the right of the lane. Dump into the right corner to Soria for 3. Rainbow off the back of the rim. Pulled down left block by Clay. He won't get the shot off in time. He tried to fade away, but his head went down to the floor to get the ball. By the time he backed up and threw it, he could not get the extension as the buzzer had already gone off. Clay, though, with his 3rd rebound as we expired the 3rd quarter. The best part is Eagles have regained the lead at the end of 3, 52-51 over San Angelo Central. Ready for the finale coming up in just 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. As we get ready for the 4th quarter here at Tasker Arena, your Hobbs Eagles with a 1-point lead, 52-51. Both teams were tied at 33 at halftime. The Eagles get 19 in that quarter, 18 for San Angelo Central, a 1-point ball game. Your Eagles have the basketball to start the 4th, led by Beatty's 14. And going to the rack first is Soria, but they're going to say he run over his defender and gets a charge. And stepping up in the lane to take the brunt of that one was Franklin. That will be the Eagles' 13th turnover and a foul on Soria. That's his first team foul. So leader, actually 14 for Beatty, 12 for David, and 7 for Clay. Pass down, back door, right side, double clutch, and scored off the layup is Taylor. He's 23 on the game, leading both teams in scoring. Had a quick first step to the hoop. David not getting there on time. I hopefully don't give it to him because he's starting to rack up the fouls. Yep, it is David, his 4th personal, and 2nd team foul on the Eagles here in the 4th. So TK Taylor on the line. They were 5 of 10 from the stripe as he makes the free throw. He's got 24, and he missed his first 2 free throws, but has made his last 4 of 6 on the stripe. 54-52 Bobcats. Eagle basketball down by 2, 7:30 left of the game. Lowe gets a pass front court right wing, bounce it down to Malachi David, double team. Head fake, goes to the rack, double clutch, they call the travel. He put his head down against the defender, took a giant step, might have shuffled a little bit, and picks up the travel. That will be turnover number 14, back-to-back turnovers for the Eagles, who trail by 2. McNeil with the slow dribble in the backcourt, guarded by Soria. Comes across the timeline on the near right. Crossover to his left hand, stays solid though. Shuffle pass back to Franklin. Right wing now off the screen for McNeil. Lost it off his foot. Picked up by the Eagles low, and that's a steal. That'll be the turnover number 11. Over to Beatty, left wing, front court is 3 off the back of the rim. Pulled out high in the air by Franklin, his 5th rebound. Outlet to the near sideline to Taylor. Throws it across to Allen. Spin move on the right wing, gonna slow it down. Dumps it to the right corner to Taylor. Threads a needle down right block to McNeil. Leads and shoots off the right rim, no good. And Beatty rips it down on the left block. His 7th rebound. Bad pass to the timeline. Taken away by Nino for the Eagles' 15th turnover. Then a pass up court to the right baseline. Sails out of bounds. And that'll be another San Angelo turnover. So bunches of problems going both ways now. Not holding on to the basketball. That's the second time now that Coach Jeter is going to the bench. A minute there's a bad turnover like that one as Miguel Zamarin comes on the court. And for the Eagles, Proby for Lowe. Still just a 2-point lead for the visiting San Angelo Central Bobcats. 54-52, Hobbs Eagle basketball. Soria will dribble it up. As he comes across the time stripe. One hand over to David on the right wing. Up top to Proby. Gets some tough pressure there by McNeil. Sends it over to Soria right wing. Thought about a wraparound pass, decides to go back instead to Proby, top of the arc. Got away with the push-off. Over to Soria with the pass on the right wing. Back to Proby. Gets a screen from Soria. Dribbles right circle on the far right sideline. Dribbles through his legs. The big man going to guard him, Taylor. Cross court to Clay on the left wing. Fakes a three. Dribbles into pressure. Spins out of it. Gives it back to Soria near side in front of the Taskovich band. Crossover move. Goes down the lane. Triple team. Spins and throws up a double clutch around the rim and good from the left side of the lane. Coach Ross wanted a foul there, not getting it, so Soria puts it through his 5th point. Eagles tied up at 54. Going all the way to the rack after getting through 2 defenders on the weave is McNeil. Beautiful dribbling for him. He's got 6, and a quick timeout called by Coach Jeter. Wants to talk some defense now during this break. 5:47 left, 4th quarter. It's San Angelo Central 56, your Hobbs Eagles 54. Come back with us in 30 seconds. HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Not only is this a close game here at Task Arena, 56-54 San Angelo, but these teams are even on rebounds. 20 apiece for both squads, pretty impressive. Leader for San Angelo Central is TK Taylor, the 6'6" post. He's got 6. Jalen Franklin with 5 and Allen with 4. On the boards for your Eagles, Braddock Beatty with 7. 5 for Malachi David and 3 for Josiah Clay. Leading scorer is Beatty 14, David 12. And for the Bobcats, it's 24 for Taylor and 10 for Franklin. 5:42 left in the 4th, and a bad pass up the far sideline to the front court. Rolls to the baseline, and that'll be a turnover for the Eagles just coming out of the timeout. 16 turnovers for Hobbs compared to 12 for San Angelo. 2-point Bobcat lead with 5:38 remaining. The orange squad's going to dribble it up. McNeil, he's going to meet a trap near the timeline by Clay and Soria. Sails a pass to the left wing to Allen. Deep in the corner, no-look pass left elbow to Taylor, spin, returns it back to Allen left wing, back deep to the timeline to McNeil, sling it right to Zamarin, down to the right corner to Franklin, fadeaway 3, no good, ripped down by David on the left block and sends it ahead after his 6th turnover, throws it up ahead to Clay with 2 hands in the layup left side. So Josiah Clay is throwing it home, he's got 9. 56-56, long pass to the other end to Zamarin on the right block, throws it, or right corner, throws it down the lane, and laying it up over the right side on the reverse is Franklin for 12 total. 58-56 Bobcats. Now with the basketball, Soria far right, bounces it across to Clay right wing. Cross corner to Beatty, fires up a 3, rainbow jumper, rolling around and good. It got flushed through the net, counted for Beatty. He's got 17 points with 2 trays, and that's the 7th tray for the Eagles. 59-58, bad pass at the other end, might have been touched by Beatty in the passing lane, right side of the paint. As trying to throw a zinger in the lane was Nino, and sails it to the baseline, but touched by Beatty just barely off the fingertips. Will be San Angelo basketball on the left baseline, trailing by 1. 4:36 remaining in the 4th. Inbounding is Allen. Put it in the right corner to Franklin. Fakes a 3, drives the lane. Little lefty hook, hits the bottom of the backboard, and crashes into the top of the Hobbs Eagle defender. That's Clay getting elbowed in the head. I think they called the charge on that one. Yep, they're going the other direction. Nice job for Clay, but he got the brunt of it, that elbow to the back of the head. And that'll be a charge on Franklin, his 2nd foul. And that'll be the first team foul on the Bobcats. Also a turnover for them. That's their 13th. Into the front court to Clay, left side. Gives back to Surrey at the timeline to Clay again, left wing. No look pass down the left corner to Proby. Drives the baseline. I couldn't tell whether he was going to shoot or underhanded to David on the right block coming down the left side of the base. But it got knocked out regardless off the hands of Franklin. So Hobbs gets the basketball underneath their hoop, up by 1. 4:18 left in the fourth. Surrey to inbound. Have it send it back deep to Clay on the far right sideline. Back pedals with the dribble to the scorer's table. Stop and go. Drives the lane. He hooked his defender, but they're going to call the block foul first as McNeil didn't get his feet set that time. That's his third personal. Second team foul against the Bobcats. And they'll go back to the baseline again on the right side. 4:12 left fourth. Hobbs +1. 59-58. Surrey to inbound. Having some trouble getting anybody open. Goes back door to David. High arching shot. And he hits the back of the rim. We got referees watching each other after whistle. They're going to call the block, and it took a few seconds to make the call. Boy, Coach Jeter at the other baseline is not happy. Want to know why the officials just kind of stared at themselves on that one. They call the foul. That's Franklin's second in a row, his third personal, third team foul. And David will get the 2 free throws. Again, we mentioned David did not shoot 1 free throw in 3 games at Espanola, and he's going to get to shoot 1 here on the season. He is 5 of 6 for 83% as I say that. He hits the front of the rim, no good. He'll get 1 more. Hobbs through 3 quarters were 6 of 9 from the charity stripe. This is their first attempt of the fourth. So they didn't get to shoot a free throw in that third. Second shot is good for David. He's got 13. Second leading scorer behind 17 for Beatty. 60-58, Eagles by 2. In the front court, pass to Taylor, right wing, down to the baseline to McNeil. Kicking off left wing. Zambrano wants to fire a 3 off the front of the rim, no good. Pulled down on the right block, going up strong, missing a tip as Franklin, after a 6 rebound outlet, as David came down with it, sends it ahead to Clay for a double clutch on the right side of the rim and scored. He's got 11. 62-58. Going to the other end, Taylor comes on the left baseline, throws up a hook over the iron for 2. Right through the net that time. Taylor was going to waste no time trying to get the Eagles on the beat of the transition. He's got a total now of 26 to lead both teams. Hobbs still by 2, 62-60. We'll take that 60-second break. Your Hobbs Eagles here at Task Arena. Come back with us.
Go.
Hobbs Eagles holding on to a 2-point lead with 3:42 left fourth quarter, 62-60 over San Angelo Central, who is undefeated, 12-0 in Texas. Hobbs came in with a 5-1 record. So far this scoring for the Bobcats, they've got 26 for Taylor, 17 for the Hobbs Eagles, Beatty and David 13. Hobbs basketball after a timeout, David with the ball. On the right wing, gets a screen for Proby, spin to left elbow, runner shot with one hand and puts it through. David threw that shot put over his right hand. He's got 15 now. 64-60, Hobbs by 4. In the front court, McNeil to the free throw line. Sails a pass down to Nino, right corner. Bounce pass in the paint, and been there all quarter is Jalen Franklin. Just shoves it over the rim for 2. They're leaving him wide open in the paint. He's got 14 for those in the fourth. Still a 2-point Eagle lead. 3:05 remaining. David gets a bounce pass on the right wing, gets a screen from Proby again, pivots out of it, and gives it over to Soria on the right wing. Slapping at the ball. It's Franklin, picked up by Soria. Dribbles to the free throw line. Throws up a shot on the run. It's an air ball. Rebound David. His hook shot is knocked out of his hands, and coming with it is Clay on the right wing. Goes to the rack, reverse layup, right side, and scores! And the foul. Count the basket for Clay. He's got 6 points here in the fourth and 13 overall. Third leading scorer for the Eagles. And they're going to call that against Taylor. That's his third personal, fourth team foul. Chance for that three-point play for Taylor, or Clay, excuse me. So Clay on the line, trying to extend the lead here, up by 4. Be the biggest lead of the fourth quarter. He is 2 for 2 from the charity stripe, and a nice one there on the fadeaway. He's got 7 in the fourth, 11 overall for the Eagles, 67-62 by 5. Into the front court, San Angelo. Pass from Taylor to the free throw line. Up top to McNeil. Bounce it back to Taylor. Jab step. Clay stand right with him. Returns to the time strike to McNeil with 2:30 left. Guarded closely by Soria. Dribbling left, zigzags back to the right. Pass to Taylor on the left elbow. He'll back at him with the dribble himself. Guarded by Beatty, giving up some inches. Hard dribble to the rack. Tries to dunk it with a tomahawk jam. Coming from the backside is David to try to block the shot. Did not want to see some Jordan-style dunk, and gets a foul. Ball well short of the rim that time, but a foul on David. That should be his 5th. Yes, it is. So David's going to foul out. Gallant effort for him. That's his 15th point in the books for him. He had 8 rebounds for the Eagles and finished with 2 trays and 1 for 2 free throw shooting. Nice round of applause for Malachi David as he exits the game after 5 fouls. Eagles still by 5, though, 67-62. That will send TK Taylor on the line. He's got 26 points. And he is 4 for 6 from the charity stripe. They're getting the 30-second foul out time clock here. Actually, Beatty might be getting something looked at by the trainer. They're bringing a bottle of water over there. It looks like they're cleaning him up. Might have some blood on himself here. New rule says you get a little bit of time to clean up here, not too long. And we still already had a foul out, too, so they got should have had a 30-second substitution timeout, and then now they're giving him an injury look. They got the blood off, I think. He's rubbing his face or nose there, so might have got a pop in the nose. 67-62, Hobbs up by 5 with 2:21 remaining, but on the line, TK Taylor. 26 points, 6 rebounds. We mentioned 4 of 6 from the charity stripe. He has missed 2. That was his first 2 in the first quarter. He's been perfect since then. Free throw up and good. Should have kept my mouth shut. 27 now for Taylor. As the lead dwindles to 4 now, 67-63. 1 more for the Bobcats. Second shot is bouncing around the rim and good. 28 now for Taylor and a 3-point Eagle lead. Half-court inbound to Soria, gets it to Beatty left wing, drives the left block, double clutch, it's rejected, tipped up in the air, still a couple of times, pulled down by McNeil on the far left side, his 3rd rebound, dribbles the middle of the court in the Hobbs Eagle logo and gets pushed from behind. They call the foul on the Eagles. That's called against Beatty, his 2nd, 14 foul, 1 away for the double bonus. Clock stop with 2:08 left, 4th quarter, and Hobbs by 3. Inbounding on the far left sideline is McNeil in the backcourt. Guard having to run back there to get it was Nino, guarded by Beatty now on the front side. Unloads the pass to Zamrin in the right corner. Pivots against Clay. One hands it up top to McNeil near the timeline. 2 minutes left of the game. He wants it clear on the right side, backs it out, gives it down to the big man Taylor, double teamed on the right block. He got sandwiched between Lowe and Soria that time. One of them gets the foul, which will be 5 now on the Eagles, double bonus. Give that to Lowe, his 2nd, again 15 foul. And right back to the line is Taylor. He's made his last 6 free throws for the Bobcats. Made 3 of them in this quarter and another one here in the 4th. 29 points for Taylor, 1 away from the 30 mark. Quite a few rebounds away from double-double tonight. He's got 6 boards, but plenty of free throws if you could count that, getting close to double digits. Second shot is the swish. 30 points now for TK Taylor, and now a timeout on the court. 1-point ball game. We've heard that one before. 67-66. Hobbs up on San Angelo Central. A little bit over a minute left of this ball game. We will take a 30-second break. Come back with more Hobbs Eagle action on the radio. Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page on the internet. A nail-biter here at Tasker Arena, 67-66. Your Hobbs Eagles up by 1. 1:52 left here in the fourth. A 1-point lead for the Eagles. Of course, it's after a 3-day tournament up in Espanola, wrapped up on Saturday. The Eagles' next contest will be next week. They got a couple of games on the road in Las Cruces. We'll talk about that later. Right now, we got a close one. The Hobbs Eagles by 1. Bring it across the timeline is Beatty after the timeout. Cross court left to Soria, 1:40 remaining, up by 1. Bounce pass to Proby on the left wing, guarded closely by Taylor. Slings it back, a dangerous one to Beatty, but a good receiver catch there before it goes in the backcourt. Dribbles left and handed off to Clay. Double team. One-hander up top to Proby. Drives the lane. Kick to Beatty, left corner. Fakes a three. Goes baseline up the dribble. Returns to Proby down the lane. A runner shot. Great teamwork and a layup over the front of the rim. Counted for Proby. Proby puts it through for his 9th point. A 3-point Eagle lead. 1:17 remaining. Into the front court. A big jump stop for Franklin, right side of the paint. Throws it up top to Zamrin. He'll hold it with 1:10. A 3-point deficit for his Bobcats. Comes around the left circle, throws the ball up in the air, lost it. Stripped by Clay on the turnover, number 14. He loses it in the front court, but it hits the baseline. It'll be Hobbs basketball. So San Angelo's got their 15th turnover. Clay tried to drive it down, got knocked out of his hands from behind, tried to be chased down by Franklin to the baseline and went out of bounds. Hobbs ball underneath the right side of their rim, up by 3. And Coach Ross wants to make sure they get a high percentage shot here, not just jacking up threes, because they're already up by 3. That would have to be a long shot for San Angelo. We're going to keep it right here with your Eagles up 69-66. We were talking about the next games for the Hobbs Eagles. Won't be till next week, Thursday and Friday. Right before the holidays, they will be in Las Cruces on Thursday the 18th next week at Oregon Mountain. That'll be a 6 o'clock tip-off Mountain Time, so 5:45 for the pregame show Thursday next week. And then on Friday of the 19th, they'll be also in Las Cruces at Mayfield. That's also a 6 o'clock tip, 5:45 pregame. So next Thursday and Friday, December 18th and 19th for the Hobbs Eagles. And there's kind of a delay there in terms of games with the 3 that they just played in Espanola. It's a nail-biter again here in Tasker. 3-point Eagle lead, 69-66. Remember, San Angelo Central undefeated on the season. All their games against Texas squads, they are 12-0. Hobbs coming in at 5-1. They, of course, played all New Mexico teams, including going 2-1 in Espanola. Eagle basketball underneath their hoop on the right baseline, up by 3. Inbounding will be Soria. Gets it into Proby in the right corner, hands to Soria, pivoting, good pressure being applied by Allen, dribbles the baseline, double team, knocked out of bounds last second by Allen. Coach Ross helping the official on that one, he jumped right out there. It'll be again Hobbs basketball, Soria to inbound, deep on that right baseline. Still a 3-point lead, 55 seconds remaining. Good pressure being applied, inbound to the baseline, underneath the hoop to Proby, gets double teamed, loses the ball, knocked out of his hands, and he fumbles it off his foot. Coach Ross wanted to change the call, but he's not going to get any help by the officials on that one. Proby got caught in traffic right in the middle of the baseline underneath the hoop and got double teamed. That'll be the Eagles' 17th turnover. 50 seconds remaining to let the ball roll to San Angelo. Picked up at the timeline by Allen. He gets it stripped, and it's off his foot. Coming up to help was Clay at the Taskervich drum set there. Got right in his shorts and made him fumble out of bounds. Let it roll way too much, did Allen that time. That will be the 16th San Angelo turnover, a critical one there. 48 seconds left here in the fourth. Eagle basketball with a 3-point lead. Back to the bench goes Coach Jeter to bring in Miguel Zamrin. Soria's going to get some pressure in the backcourt. They throw it cross court to Clay in the front side. Dribbles up the sideline right, weaving through traffic at the right block, sends it back to Beatty right wing and sails it back deep to Soria. Double team against him. Returns to Beatty, far right sideline with 35. Bad pass up top, stripped away by TK Taylor, turn number 18. He throws it left corner, gets it back with a little hook on the left rim and goes down hard as he's fouled. He dumped it over to the left corner to Aiden Nino, returned it to him on the give and go, and he got knocked sideways to the floor. They call the foul against Braddock Beatty, his third. That is the 6th team foul, so double bonus regardless for Taylor. Taylor's been perfect in this quarter, 5 for 5 on the charity stripe, and 9 points here in the fourth, 30 overall. Free throw up and go to Swish. He hasn't missed a free throw since the first quarter. He started 0 for 2. and has made 9 since then. So 9 for 11. Second shot, he's got 31 points, make it 32. This one kind of clinks around the rim a little bit. Coach Jeter wants to call the timeout, discuss strategy. Boy, it's going to be a critical possession for the Eagles. They lead by 1, 69-68 with 30.2 seconds left, fourth quarter. We go to timeout and come back live in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. (69-68), your Hobbs Eagles up by 1, trying to run their record of 6-1. If they do get the win, that will drop San Angelo to their first loss of the season, go down to 12-1. This team went 1 deep into the playoffs last year, lost to El Paso Eastlake in the playoffs. They were 3rd in district, and of course they had some tough teams in that district as well. Friendship was the winner of the district, 10-0 last year. And Odessa Permian at 8-2. Again, San Angelo Central in that 3rd slot. They graduated 6 seniors, and this year averaging 75.8 points a contest, only giving up 50.8 points. So Hobbs Eagles holding them about 7 points below their average with a 12-0 record. We saw some good D against some of the top scorers up north as well in the Espanola tournament. Inbound to Clay on the far right side of the backcourt. Double team, bounce it back deep to low. Send it to Soria near sideline, still backcourt. Goes to his left hand. He falls to the floor, and the official calls a push. San Angelo's Miguel Zamrin might have been the guy that got the hands out. Looked like first there was a fall to the floor, but they're going to say that's what caused the drop was the push. Double check to see who they called that against. That will be the 15th foul. Double bonus the rest of the game, and Soria will go to the line. Still not seeing who they called that. It was against Miguel Zamora, like I said the first time. Soria on the charity stripe, yet to shoot a free throw in the game, and makes that one. He's got 6 points. Soria came in shooting 20 of 22, the best numbers on the team at 90%. And with the make there, that's going to make it even better. One more shot to extend it to 3, and it's good. Soria with 7 points, 2 for 2 on the line. Eagles up by 3 with 20 seconds left. Coming across the timeline on the left wing. And they're going to say the dribbler was stepping on the sideline. Aiden Nino, the official in front of the scorer's table, throwing his finger almost halfway down the court to make the call. That'll be turnover number 17 for the Bobcats. 3-point Eagle lead, inbound to Beatty, far back corner, right side of the backcourt. He's going to spin, take on McNeil. Double team, still in the backcourt. One-hand pass is intercepted at the half line. Taylor falls to the floor. It's loose. Hobbs Eagles get the steal, and Clay's going to the other end, but he's fouled near half court. Boy, Coach Jeter out of the court. He thought Taylor got hammered. Not a happy camper. Both teams pick up a turnover in the process. 18 for San Angelo, 19 for the Eagles, and Clay can put the icing on the cake here with a 3-point lead. Taylor hit the floor flat on his back in the lane, and the question by Coach Jeter, not a question, an argument, was whether or not he got knocked down or he fell on his own. That'll put Clay on the line. He got held up near half court. He's perfect, 3 for 3. Clay came in shooting 17 of 28 for 60%, and 3 for 3 free throw shooting, going to get those numbers skyrocketing and make it 4 for 4 as he makes the first free throw. He's got 15 points, 8 of those here in the fourth quarter. So he's doubled plus in this one quarter alone since halftime. One more shot for Clay. Up by 4 with 6.4 remaining in the game. Second shot is good. He's made all 5 of his free throws. 16 points for Josiah Clay and a 5-point Eagle lead with 6 seconds left. They throw a ball across the timeline. 3 for Franklin, right side off the front rim. Rebound with the scoop shot on the right glass. He's got 8. The buzzer sounds, and I think they got the timeout right before the buzzer went off. The official putting his hand up in the air on the baseline. We're going to have a discussion here. Have they called it or not? One ref said we got us half a second. Nope, they're going to call it. That's the ball game. Your Hobbs Eagles knock off the undefeated San Angelo Central Bobcats 73-70. Hobbs improves to 6-1. San Angelo drops to 12-1. We'll be back in 3 minutes live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back live to the Hobbs Eagle postgame show. Basketball action here at Tasker Arena. Ty Friend here with you. Evie Stuber back at the station. Your Eagles victorious tonight over an undefeated San Angelo Central, who is not undefeated anymore. They're 12-1 now. Eagles beating them 73-70, improving the Eagles' record to 6-1. Let's look at the numbers in this ball game, and big-time scoring for their big player TK Taylor. He's 6'6", 180, and boy, did he shoot some free throws. He was 7 of 7 in the fourth quarter alone, and finished up with 32 points for the Bobcats' cause. He only missed his first 2 free throws of this ball game, so big-time numbers for him. 10 of 12 from the charity stripe. Also had 6 rebounds. Other scores in this game in double digits, 14 for Jalen Franklin, doing a good job of being in the paint, a lot of tip-ups and asking for the ball quite a bit in that one. He had 6 rebounds as well to match Taylor's. He was make that 2 of 4 from the charity stripe. Those are the only 2 guys in double digits, but getting close. Ian McNeil, the guard, he had 8 points and 3 rebounds. Trey Allen finished with 7. He was 1 tray to his name and 0 for 2 on the free throw line, had 4 rebounds. Jamarcus Walker ended up with 2 buckets for 4 points. Aiden Nino put in a bucket for 2, had a rebound. Walker also with the rebound. And that's pretty much it. Oh, actually, one other player, Miguel Zamrin, hit a tray for 3 points. In total, the scores in the books, there were 7 total for San Angelo. They hit only 2 3-pointers in the ball game. That was Zamrin 1 and 1 for Allen as well. They finished up 12 of 18 from the free throw line for 66%. And they were out-rebounded by the Eagles by just 1, 22-23. They had 18 turnovers in the contest. That was 1 less than the Hobbs Eagles. For the Hobbs squad, they finished up with 3 in double figures. It was a close battle for first 2. Braddock Beatty was 17 points. He came in with 2 3-pointers and was perfect on the charity stripe at 3 for 3. Also, one of the leaders for rebounds with 7. Josiah Clay was 16 points, perfect on the line, 5 for 5, and also had 3 rebounds. Other than that, the Eagles get another double-digit score. Malachi David with 15 points, did foul out of the fourth quarter. On the free throw line was 1 of 2, had 2 trays in the game, and finished up with 8 rebounds to lead the squad. So you got those 3 scores for double digits. Beatty, Clay, and David, as they combined for 48 of the Hobbs' 73 points. Again, more than half of the offensive production. Other guys in the books, Adarius Proby getting close to double digits. He had 9 points. He was 1 of 2 from the line and had a rebound. 5 for Jadarius Lowe with a tray added to his name. It was Adrian Moore with the bucket for 2 and a rebound. Lowe also got a rebound, by the way. Justice French coming off the bench with a bucket at 2 points and a rebound. And let's not forget about Lyric Soria with finishing 7 points, a tray, and perfect 2 for 2 free throw shooting. So 3 of the Eagles that shot free throws in this game were perfect. That included Beatty with his 3 for 3. Actually make that Soria 2 for 2, and then Clay 5 for 5. The Eagles get a total of 8 scores in the books and some real decent free throw shooting in this contest. Definitely one of their better ones of the game or of the season. They were 12 of 16 for 75%. So great job for the Eagles at the freebie line. Hobbs had a bunch more trays than what they had from San Angelo. They had 7 compared to the 2 for the Bobcats. Eagles with 19 turnovers, 1 more than San Angelo, and they out-rebounded the Bobcats 23-22 by 1. We already mentioned that the leader was David with 8 boards. Beatty had 7 and 3 for Josiah Clay. So the Eagles get the win here again, 73-70. Game was tied at first quarter by 15 all, 33-33 at the half. Both teams getting 18 points. San Angelo dumped in a total of 18 in the third quarter, although the Hobbs Eagles got themselves 19 to take a 1-point lead at the end of 3, 52-51. Hobbs finishes up with 21 points in the fourth quarter, and again, 21 for San Antonio. I knew we were going to do that once. San Angelo, they got a total of 19 in the fourth quarter to make it 70. So 73-70, Eagles win by 3. Again, they're 6-1. San Angelo Central loses their first game of the season, dropping to 12-1. So some games coming up on the schedule for the Hobbs Eagles this coming week. Not this week, not Thursday and Friday, but next Thursday and Friday, December 18th and 19th. Now they got Oregon Mountain. That's next Thursday at 6 p.m. Oregon Mountain, of course, in Las Cruces. And they've had some pretty decent teams over the years. Lost their coach last year and kind of went down just a bit, but they are 2-1 on the season. They lost El Paso Franklin to start the season 69-62, beat Albuquerque Del Norte by 4, and then lost to Trisco Heritage from Albuquerque by 68-64. So both games pretty close wins for them by 4 both times, and a loss to El Paso by 7 for that 2-1 record. Again, that's next Thursday on that game as they will face Oregon Mountain. Then on Friday night, they stay in Las Cruces for one more game before the holidays. They'll take on Mayfield, the Trojans. That'll be 6 o'clock on the 19th. Mayfield, a lower-class team in terms of division, but they are 3-0 on the season. Beat Del Valle by 23, 66-43. Knocked off Sandia, a team the Eagles beat a few weeks ago. Beat them by 6. And then Rio Grande, they won by 5. So some one double-digit win and 2 by 6 and 5 in their last 2 ball games. Last one they played on December 6th. So 3-0 record for the Mayfield Trojans. Again, that's next Friday. So a little bit of basketball before the holiday tournament. And, of course, I know one team the Eagles are looking ahead to is the Artesia Bulldogs that will be in the opposite side of the bracket at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. They were the state champions in the 5A last year. Also won the football championship just, a week or a half or 2 ago. So they have got some tough athletes. They might have a chance to play them in the Hobbs Holiday Tournament Championship here once that gets going on after Christmas. Also like to mention, too, in terms of the Hobbs Lady Eagles, they won tonight big time in El Paso, beating Bel Air. Major blowout. They were never even tested in that ball game. I think the final was 77-22, I believe. The other Lee County team in action tonight, the Lovington Lady Cats, were up for quite a bit of that game, but currently trail late in the fourth quarter, 46-43 in that one. So, again, pretty exciting games around Lee County. The Hobbs Lady Eagles will be in action Friday night. They'll be outside of Lubbock in Wolford, Texas, to take on Friendship High. That will be a game against the Tigers, 6 o'clock start time. I believe that's Mountain Time, 5:45 with the pregame show. Ron Gunner will have that game for you live, again, in Wolford, Texas on Friday. So no boys games the rest of the week. They don't play till next Thursday and Friday. Again, final score here at Task Arena. The Eagles get their 6th win, 6-1 against the 12-0, now 12-1 San Angelo Bobcats, final 73-70. Like to thank Evie Stuber back at the station, Allison Friend on the camera, and Jessica Friend on the scoreboard tonight. Thanks for tuning in for Hobbs Eagle Basketball, and we'll see you next week with boys hoops and Friday Night for Girls on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, the Cool 95.7 Facebook page, and on the radio at Cool 95.7.
You're clear.